Apple's first foldable iPhone hasn't even launched yet, and there's already one design decision raising eyebrows: a dedicated camera control button. And honestly, that might be the first sign Apple is focusing on the wrong thing. Before we jump in, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. It really helps me keep bringing you more tech breakdowns like this one. According to recent reports, the so-called iPhone Fold, or possibly iPhone Ultra, could include the same camera control button found on the newer iPhone 17 lineup. On a regular phone, fine, maybe that makes sense, but on a foldable, that's where things start getting questionable. Because people don't buy foldables for photography. That's the core issue here. Foldables exist for a completely different reason. They're about screen space, multitasking, portability, and that futuristic experience of unfolding a mini tablet out of your pocket. The camera is important, sure, but it's not the main attraction. And this matters because Apple is entering the foldable market late. Samsung, Oppo, Honor, Huawei, they've already spent years figuring out what users actually care about in foldables. Better hinges, less visible creases, improved durability, bigger batteries, software optimized for split-screen apps and multitasking. That's the real battlefield. So if Apple's first big hardware addition is a camera button, it feels a little disconnected from what foldable users actually want. Think about how people use foldables today. Most users open them for media consumption, reading, gaming, productivity, browsing, or running multiple apps at once. The whole appeal is transforming a normal phone into something larger and more immersive. That's why hinge quality matters so much. That's why creases matter. That's why battery life matters. If the phone creaks every time you open it, nobody's going to care how fast the camera launches. And remember, this is expected to be a first-generation product. First-gen devices always come with compromises. Apple already has enough challenges ahead without trying to turn the foldable into some ultimate photography machine. The company needs to nail the fundamentals first. The display needs to feel premium and durable. The crease has to be minimized as much as possible. iOS has to adapt naturally between folded and unfolded modes. Apps need proper scaling. Multitasking has to feel smooth and intentional instead of stretched-out iPhone apps. Those are the things people will judge immediately. And honestly, foldables are already expensive enough that many buyers treat them almost like luxury gadgets. For some people, owning one is partly about status. It's the kind of device people notice when you unfold it in public. That wow factor comes from the screen transformation itself, not from pressing a dedicated camera button. There's also an interesting comparison with tablets here. Foldables sit somewhere between phones and tablets tablet users rarely prioritize cameras. Most tablets don't even try to compete with flagship phones in photography. Why? Because they're built around consumption and productivity. People use tablets for watching videos, reading, browsing, drawing, or working. As long as the cameras are decent enough for video calls or occasional photos, that's usually enough. Foldables follow that same logic. Nobody's asking for giant camera grips or external photography accessories on a folding phone. Users mainly want reliability. They want something that survives years of folding and unfolding without becoming fragile or annoying. And that's especially important when rumors suggest the iPhone Fold could cost well over $2,000. At that price, durability becomes everything. If Apple wants this device to succeed, people need confidence that it won't develop hinge problems, display damage, or battery issues after a year of use. A foldable already introduces more mechanical complexity than a standard phone, so adding extra gimmicks doesn't necessarily help. Meanwhile, competition is getting serious. Oppo's newer foldables have already reduced the crease significantly. Samsung keeps improving hinge design generation after generation. Chinese brands are pushing thinner bodies, lighter designs, and bigger batteries. Apple can't rely on branding alone here. The foldable market is still young, but expectations are already high because users have seen what competitors are doing. If Apple enters this space, people are going to expect something polished, refined, and practical. And to be fair, Apple probably will deliver great cameras anyway. It's Apple. Even if photography isn't the priority, the cameras will almost certainly be strong. But the concern is about priorities. Does the first foldable iPhone really need extra camera-focused hardware right now, or should Apple spend every bit of engineering effort making the folding experience itself feel flawless? Because at the end of the day, we already have phones designed specifically for photography. Devices like Samsung's Ultra lineup, Xiaomi flagships, Vivo's camera phones, or Apple's own Pro Max models already dominate that category. Foldables don't need to replace those phones. They just need to be great foldables. And honestly, if Apple can deliver a durable hinge, excellent battery life, smooth multitasking, minimal crease visibility, and software that truly takes advantage of the larger display, that alone could make the iPhone Fold one of the most important Apple products in years. But if the focus starts drifting towards unnecessary extras before the basics are perfected, that's when the first real red flags start appearing. What's your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments section. See you in the next video. Take care.